Hey everyone, thanks for checking back into the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick review and overview and initial impression of Arken Optic's new LH-4 4-16 by 44 lightweight hunter optic. So let's get at it. All right, so here we go. I'm not going to waste anyone's time doing one of those unboxings that some people do because really, you know what? None of us care about the box, other than the fact that your Arken Optic CR2032 battery is going to be floating around in that box somewhere. So when you get your new scope, make sure you double check and look around for the battery. Let's get that out of the way. Now let's talk about this new scope, the new LH-4 to 16 by 44. Now this does come in two magnifications. This is the lower of the two, and it's going to be the lighter of the two. I have got the initial optic that this really is the replacement for, and that is the SH4. Now that H, we recall, stands for hunting. So the SH is shooting hunting, the LH is lightweight hunter, and really, you know, Arken did nail it on the head. This SH4 is significantly, I mean, I'm talking quite a bit heavier than this LH4 right here. Now, going through this scope, now this one is just like the EPL4, meaning it has a covered turret. Now this one has both the windage and the elevation turrets covered. And my initial impressions are these turrets are exactly like the EPL4. So if you've got an EPL4 and you like that covered turret setup, you're gonna like this. This is that times two. So we've got both turrets have these caps. And I've got the caps off so you guys can see it. Now this is the mill setup, and you can tell by the, you know, the gaps in the numbers there. Your MOA would have a lot tighter digits on there. And there's some people who have had this optic already, and they say that the feel of the clicks is not as tactile as the SH4, the EP5. You know, I'm gonna have to agree with that. They are definitely there, and they are plenty firm, or I guess if you want to call that. I can feel each one. However, when I have this SH4 out, you know, the camera can even pick up on the sound, whereas with this new LH4, trying to get as close as I can to the mic for you guys, you know, I don't know if it's even picking them up because it is a much more of a dull feeling than the SH4 has. Big old thing of grease on my hand from work today. Back to the scope. Now, my initial impressions of the glass on this. I like it. I think it's good. I think it is just as good as the SH4 Ge model. It's clear, it's crisp. I have found that the side adjustment for your focus here, for your parallax, moves smooth, and it works effectively. Now, this goes on down to 10 yards. So for a lot of the people that are doing small game hunting or even the air rifle stuff, this scope is going to get you down there a little bit lower where you want. The idea is the lightweight hunter, though. This has got the 30 millimeter tube versus that big boy right here, 34. And it is just really diminutive in size. You know, if I hold this lightweight hunter optic up like this, and then I get this guy out, you know, I look like a salmon fisherman doing this thing. Look at the size of this SH4. Well, you know, I'm going to hold these both the same. Here's your SH4, and look at this thing. This is much, much, much smaller and definitely a lot lighter. You know, the weight is, you know, Arken's got it advertised. I don't know what it is yet. I just got this thing just like everyone else. But what's important is, how does it feel? How does it look for your hunting rig? I'm going to say this is going to hit home with more people. This thing doesn't weigh anything, and it's not huge and cumbersome. I've kind of messed around with all of the movable parts on it. The turret caps go on really good. Everything is machined well, as is typical with your Arkens. Finish is nice and clean and crisp. My magnification moves smooth. There's no binding or anything like that, as well with these turrets. And same with the ocular adjustment. Now this one I did find is a little bit tight. I played around with this some because I found with my Arken optics, as well as even other brands, these things loosen up a little bit with time. I can't tell you the entire construction design inside there, but I'm sure there's some kind of an O-ring in there, some kind of a silicone or some kind of lubricant that's got to work its way around some. And it seems to, you know, just from me doing it a little bit right here, it's actually loosening up a little bit. But it is smooth. with no worries on my part. I don't really mind this being a little bit tight. You throw your Arken flip cap on there, or Butler Creek, or whatever else you use. You don't have to worry about that cap turning and turning your ocular adjustment. As far as the illumination on this, it is typical with the Arken. It works fine. This has the settings that have the little dot in between each one. Setup is just the same with the cap. It does not come, again, with the battery in it, but they are included in the box, not in the rifle box. It's going to be in your big cardboard box, so look around for that thing. Does come with the sunshade, just like all of your other Arken optics, and that fits on here perfect. The color match is good. There's no seam or anything, and it works as well. So with all of that said, my initial impressions, should you go out and replace some of these guys with these on your hunting rigs? Well, if you're looking to lighten up your rifle, you want to stick with Arken. Definitely. This is something I'm throwing on a hunting rifle, and I do have quite a few. I've got a lot of these leaves sticking to my scopes. I've got a lot of these SH4 Gen2s, and I really love this scope. This is a lot of scope for your money, but it is a lot of scope for a hunting rifle. It's big, these gigantic turrets, and all that weight. This is right there. This hits a home run. You know, this thing is going to really suit a lot of people quite well. So if you are looking for a hunting scope, you want to try out an Arken, and you're really not sure, you're unsure, my impression is going to be, go for it. This is a great scope. These things are priced well. They've got the features that people want. Now the cool thing about this is the way these turrets are set up. Let me get these caps off for a minute here. But the way these turrets are set up is, take those caps off and you kind of got yourself a mini SH4 Gen2. You got yourself an EPL4 ×2, because you can still dial in solutions if you choose to. This does have an option of getting either reticle. You can get that target reticle or the hunting reticle in it. So you can use this for some target shooting if you choose to do so, and you don't want to have a couple different scopes. You don't want to be stacking up the funds or moving things around. But trying to put the turret on the illumination and the side focus, it's not going to work. Well, anyway, so with all that said, here you have it. I'm going to put this thing out there. I will get a little bit of shoot-through footage with this. I'm going to be mounting this up on a 450 Bushmaster AR platform. So I'm going to get some footage of zeroing this and talking about how well the turrets work as far as tracking in the zeroing process. I am not expecting any problems during the zeroing process. Zero problems. All of my Arkens have tracked true. They have zeroed quick and easy. I've had no issues with that, and the reticles have been true as far as holdovers and things like that. So I am going to be doing that content real quick. I hope to have that out within a week's time, having some shoot-through footage on this and moving around these turrets and, you know, the movable parts and stuff for you guys, getting a little bit more in-depth impression of the scope function-wise versus just checking it out and having this with this thing all, you know, really being new, and a lot of us just getting our hands on these. So, hey, thanks for checking back in. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't, and you want to be alerted to future content or updates on this and the other Arken optics that are coming out. I do have some Zulises I'm waiting on, and I want to get that stuff out there with those, because those are going to be a hunting optic as well as these LH-4. So thanks for checking back in, and I always say, keep on shooting.